is expected to have all the answers. Does she always know best?
A mom who just can't let go.
Irons his boxers, tells him when to go to bed.
He is dependent on me.
And
she's always nagging me.
a son who can't say no.
When you're 25 years old, you want your mother out of your boxers. He will never do it on his own.
Plus,
You said, I hope you die.
a mom who can't control her teen.
You've said that you slap her in the face.
Savannah gets me so mad at her, I want to choke her sometimes. She irritates me.
Okay, time out.
And a big surprise for the mom who can't slow down.
3-year-old twins, 2-year-old son, X-ray tech, church school. Do you ever say no?
No.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. I know things are tough out there, but we can do this. Here we go. I want you to get excited about your life.
4,
Get ready, 3. Let's do it. Well, they changed your diapers, they cooked your meals, they did your laundry, they taught you manners, and they put up with your bratty attitudes. But if you disrespected them, Dad was there to defend dear old Mom because she always knew what to do. Well, today, we're going to talk to some moms. Now, here's the question. Do these moms really know best? Now, famous mom Irma Bombeck once wrote, when your mother asked, do you want a piece of advice? That's just a mere formality. It doesn't matter whether you answer yes or no. You're going to get it anyway. Now, that's certainly how my first guest, Rhonda, feels. Her 24-year-old son, Bobby, lives with her. She irons his boxers, tells him when to go to bed, and pays for pretty much anything he wants. Well, Bobby says he's had enough. He wants Mom to back off and let him finally grow up. Oh, do I have a lot to say to these people. Oh, my. Bobby's girlfriend, Christy, says their relationship is unhealthy. She says it's codependent.
My mom definitely loves to try and control me. I can't really think of another 24-year-old where their mom is asking them to go brush their teeth and pay a bill 50 times.
Do you pay that Discover bill?
Yes, I'm sure I paid it.
I'm his mom, and sometimes I will say things. I'm not trying to be critical or domineering.
The ironing is one of the most annoying things my mom does. She even irons my boxers.
I do his laundry. I pay for all his clothing. I basically clean up the apartment after him.
I'm ready for my mom to cut the cord. My girlfriend thinks it is ridiculous.
This is not an average, normal relationship between a 24-year-old and his mother. We're on a date and the phone rings and it's Miss Rhonda.
I'm just checking where you're at.
My mom says, you need to come home and get to bed.
What time you gonna be home?
We will have to stop on our date.
When I tell my mom to cut the cord, she will immediately come back with, how about I just cut the money cord?
Miss Rhonda does use money as a weapon.
My mom will say, because I bought you these things, I can check up on you as much as I want. I'm sick and tired of my mom nagging me, like Dr. Phil, to convince my mom not to be so overbearing and to let me simply grow up.
Oh, this is wrong at so many levels. All right, is Rhonda's meddling really more logical than Bobby or Christy give her credit for? What's this?
Bobby says, just lay off. I don't need to be told anything. He resents being told to go to bed.
I have enough common sense to get some rest.
Knowing Bobby like I do, he will stay up late and get up early and drive. If he has an accident, I'm the one that's liable. So that's why I tell him to go to bed early. He resents being told, brush your teeth. He had some problems at the dentist, so that was going to cost me additional money. That's why I remind him. I iron Bobby's clothes so he'll look neat and presentable. The last thing I want is for him to look like a slob. He is dependent on me.
Okay, were y'all watching this backstage?
Yeah, some of it.
Yes.
I
You
saw.
watched the tape pieces and everything?
Yeah.
Really? So, what did you think about it, Bobby?
I think it was pretty accurate. You know, she's always nagging me. I'm 24 years old, and I just want her to know that I have enough common sense to, you know, be dependable and take initiative and do things that I need to get done. You know, like brushing my teeth and when to go to bed. So.
Okay. Okay. So what'd you think of it?
I think I don't quite nag him as much as it came across on the tape.
Okay, how old are you?
24. About to be 25.
25 years
Yes.
old. So we can just consider you 25 years old.
Pretty much, I would say that.
All right, and you're living at home.
Yeah.
And your mother's telling you when to go to bed and how to brush your teeth.
My teeth. And sometimes I'll just tell her I've already done something, just so, because I know I can remember to do something, just because I don't want her coming back on me and saying, did you do it? Did you do it? Well, how did you do it? Like when I pay a bill and everything, she'll be like, did you get an email confirmation on it? Well, can I see it? And, you know, it just gets to the point where she just needs to learn to, like... Bobby.
Seriously, am I getting punked? You don't get it, do you? You're 25 years old. When you're 25 years old, you want your mother out of your boxers.
I agree.
Okay. What are you doing living at home? You're 25. What are you doing living at home?
I'm finishing up college. Out of high school, I went to tech school, and after that, I went to community college and changed majors a couple of times. So it took me a little bit longer to get through, but you know, my sister took the same amount of time. So
I appreciate the history lesson. Now answer my question. What are you doing living at home? You say you don't want your mother running your life. You don't want her telling you what to do. Then move. I've got a friend that has one of those, what do you call them? Jobs. Jobs. And he's even fanatical about it. He goes like every day, and he works, and he gets paid for it, and then he takes that money, and he goes and pays for his own life. And his mother doesn't worry about how he brushes his teeth or whether or not he goes to bed in time to be alert to drive the next day.
I know that.
That's my main concern.
Now, that's your main concern? If that's your main concern, then you've got it made. Really, if your biggest worry in life is if your son gets enough sleep on Monday night to be an alert driver on Tuesday, you just need to go home and be happy. Because if that's your biggest concern, you have no worries, right? Are you kidding me? Do you actually worry about that?
Well, he's had one bad accident where he totaled the car, and I had a bad accident last year, so.
Was he up till 11:30 that night? The night before?
I know he was taking some medication that day, and I had told him not to drive. Because I said, you've just taken that medicine. And he says, no, I took that medicine like 4 hours ago. But it turned out he didn't take it 4 hours ago. He had taken it like an hour ago.
Were you...
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I fell asleep and blacked out, but...
All right. And you didn't know not to drive after you took mind-altering medication? Okay, I take back what I said. Maybe you need your mama in your boxes.
Back then, probably I did.
All right, what's it going to take for Rhonda to finally cut this cord with her son or her son? I mean, they both have scissors. You can cut that cord from either end, but apparently nobody's wanting to do it. We'll talk about what happens next when we come back.
My mom has always been critical of the girls I've dated. She's the most judgmental person you'll ever meet.
He had a young girlfriend that I did not really approve of, and he got very upset. If Bobby thinks I do not approve of a girlfriend, he becomes very defensive and sometimes very angry with me.
In the past, my mom's criticism has pretty much ended the relationship.
I just don't want everything I do to be judged under a microscope.
Okay, well, we've heard the phrase father knows best, but isn't it really that mom is the one that supposedly knows best? Now, Bobby's here with his mother, which you'll understand if you've been watching. And at almost 25 years old, he says he's ready to cut the cord with mom. But, I mean, is he really? His girlfriend, Christy, says, Rhonda, disrespects Bobby by not allowing him to be a man and make decisions for himself. Okay, Christy, what are you seriously involved with him?
Yeah, we've been dating about 3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
So not very long, but I still have a good idea of how their relationship has worked.
So you think his mother's too controlling?
I think so.
Okay. So you don't plan on marrying Bobby?
I mean, it's too early to tell.
No, it's not. It's not. Because you've just totally alienated his mother on national television. So.
Well, I think that a lot of times it's Bobby's fault also.
It's
and I
too
think
late.
that he shows disrespect too.
No, it's too late. She will get you for this. Okay, but don't you think it's kind of up to him?
Yeah, I know that he doesn't really have the money to move off from home yet. He's still finishing up school, and he's tried to find a job, but that hasn't really happened yet. So.
Yeah, is he irresponsible?
No, he's responsible. He's good with his schoolwork. He did have a job for 5 years.
Do you think you have a healthy relationship with him?
I think it's pretty healthy.
Do you think you treat him like he's less than 25?
Probably sometimes I do, because I don't think of him as 25.
Well, here's the problem. Apparently not. Here's the problem. People do things based on cues, stimulus. You know, like when the phone rings, that's a cue to answer the phone. Mm-hmm. What happens when you tell him to take out the trash, when you tell him to brush his teeth, when you tell him to go to bed? That's like the ring on the phone. He will never do it on his own as long as you are the cue for him doing it. That's just the truth. Mm-hmm. He will never do it because he never has to self-initiate, because you're always there, because you're unwilling for it to go undone. Mm-hmm. You aren't willing to let him suffer any consequences, so you become the stimulus. So you're signed on for life. If y'all get married, you just need to move in. Because she's going to need to be there to tell him what to do, or he's just going to lay there like a lizard on a rock. Seriously, because you're his stimulus system. Mm-hmm. You have to stop that, right? Okay. Okay?
I see that. Mm-hmm. I agree.
We're done.
I do agree.
No, do you get the point? I mean, he will never grow up, because that's what happens. When we discipline children, our hope is that they will internalize that, and then they'll self-discipline. So when you're gone or you're not there, little voice in their head will say, you know, eat your peas before your cake and all that sort of stuff. But you hope they internalize it. But you've got to back off and let him internalize it. And you need to live away from your mother.
I agree.
It's not because she's a bad person or you're a bad son. It's just, you know, the whole way that society works is, you know, parents have children, and then they raise them up, and then they go off on their own. And you've just missed this going off part.
That's the problem with going to community college, I guess. Now I'm taking my last 2 years classes online, so kind of just happened this way. But
you know, get a job and get an apartment, get a roommate that you can share with. I mean, do something where you can afford it, but it would really help you in your personality evolution, the development of your autonomy as a young man, to live independently. But make that a goal, okay?
Okay.
Make that a goal, because you don't want to be his stimulus for everything, because you're not going to be around forever. He's eventually going to be on his own, and you're not there. And then if he marries someone like Christy, you know, somebody that didn't say what she said about you on TV, then she's going to want somebody that's independent enough to do what they do. And I'm just kidding. You're not really mad at her, are you? See there? All right, next, a teen daughter who says her mom thinks she knows best but doesn't. Her mom says that her daughter's attitude is getting so out of control, she's had to call the cops for help. And we're going to find out who knows best when we come back. Listen, these relationships flow two different ways. Even kids have responsibilities for managing upstream. Parents have responsibility for what they're doing downstream. We're going to talk about that with this mother-daughter when we come back.
She is the most hard-headed kid I've ever met in my life.
Excuse me? There really anything you can do about it now, is there?
My mom thinks she knows best, but then there are times where she doesn't.
Well, you've heard the phrase, mothers know best. Well, my next guest says she's just fresh out of answers when it comes to raising her troubled 13-year-old Savannah. Now, in the last 9 months, Mom says her daughter's grades have just gone through the floor. She's become extremely hateful, selfish, impossible to control.
My daughter Savannah is out of control. Savannah will not mind me. She doesn't appreciate anything I do for her. Savannah is very rebellious, telling me no all the time.
Excuse me? There ain't really anything you can do about it now, is there?
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, you can't do anything while you're at work. We fight constantly, we argue, and when we try to talk, it usually ends up in a fight.
Do your homework? Get a couple of days? When do I get a day off? She tells me I'm a bad mom all the time and tells everybody else.
When I try to show my mom the respect that she is needing, she says something wrong to me, so I just blow it off and I don't care.
Savannah tells me she hates me. Savannah's attitude, she does not care. She does not care, one bit. Savannah got kicked off the bus 4 times for mouthing.
The first 2 times I got kicked off the bus, it was my fault, but this last time it was not my fault.
Savannah is failing 7th grade.
I've told my mom that I'd rather be in foster care or, you know, in juvenile or something just because I just don't want to come home anymore.
Nothing scares her. She is the most hard-headed kid I've ever met in my life.
My mom thinks she knows best, but then there are times where she doesn't.
I love Savannah more than anything in this world, but then it gets overwhelming, and I'm getting where I just can't take it anymore.
I hope Dr. Phil can at least help us with our communication and help me with my attitude and the lack of respect I have for my mom.
Well, Savannah says there's another side to this. She says she hadn't just twisted off in the wrong direction. She says her mother is to blame.
My mom internet dates and talks to guys. 8 months ago, she got her a computer, started internet dating. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but usually when you're on it for about 6 or 7 hours a day, that's kind of unhealthy. During the week, we don't really talk that much because when she gets home, she walks in the door, goes straight to her bedroom, turns the computer on.
Savannah tells everybody she wants me to spend time with her, but when I do, she goes to her room. She tells everybody, my mother spends time with me and all this stuff, and makes me look bad, and it's not the case.
I've been really struggling in school with a couple of subjects, and I'm like, hey, will you help me? And she's just too busy on the internet or talking on the phone or texting or something.
You need your own space. You need your own time every once in a while.
I hope Dr. Phil can talk to my mom about being on the computer for so long and not talking to me and my brother and just kind of blocking us out.
Okay. You guys have not had a good morning so far.
No, sir.
No.
What have you been arguing about?
We were in the dressing room and like I was getting an attitude with her and she was just being really rude, saying that this is all my fault and that she doesn't do anything wrong, and she's trying to put this whole thing on me.
Yeah. Is that true?
Well, I mean, I do disrespect her and I am making bad grades in school. I do get an attitude with her constantly all the time, and I'm not saying I don't.
Well, why
I
do
do.
you?
Just because she irritates me.
Do you have any ownership in this?
She exaggerates way beyond her means.
Well, here's what she says. She said you spend 5 to 6 hours a night on the computer, and she says you just blockade us from your room, that you don't want them in there. She said 2 months ago you went on a date, and you called her late at night and said you were too drunk to come home and you would spend the night at your date's house. And she says that you call her names and that you told her, quote, not to say anything to the producers that would get you in trouble with Dr. Phil.
Okay, this is how my day started. Well, first thing, I did not say for her not to tell you anything. I told her
Did she tell you that?
Yeah, she told me not to tell y'all anything that would embarrass her or make her look like a fool on national television.
And no, that was not my exact words. What my words are, she goes to everybody that we know and tells them what a bad mother I am, that I don't spend time with her. That is not true.
What is your theory about why 9 months ago she just did a 180?
My theory is her friends. She's into nothing but boys. Boys tell her what to do and how to do it, and she thinks she should do it.
Does she date?
No.
But she has boyfriends.
She has 2 or 3 boys that call the house, and now they don't talk to her dogs. I don't let them. I've cut it off.
Okay. So are you too young to have boyfriends?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of guy friends, and I talk to them, but she thinks that's wrong, and it's not. And it's not like...
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. The pain makes it real. I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill. The bad thoughts are still a good thought to feel. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost to feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel. Cause this drive me kill, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
I'm out there, you know, doing drugs and, you know, getting drunk every night and not coming home and having
Why are you
sex.
failing in school?
I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't know how to do my work.
So what needs to happen here? Because let me tell you, this will get worse if it doesn't get better. It won't stay the same. This will not be the same a year from now. When she's 14, it's going to be better or worse. It won't be the same. And choices to be made right now are going to determine which outcome it is. We'll talk about that when we come back. Well, I've said it before, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it still has two sides. Now, Angie is the mom who says her 13-year-old daughter would rather be in jail than live with her. Her daughter, Savannah, says her mother is hardly around, spends hours a night on the computer. Now, Mom says she needs my help because Savannah just won't listen. Do you think you have a chip on your shoulder?
What does that mean?
I mean that you're angry, that you just kind of, you say people get on your nerves. Are you kind of easy to get on your nerves?
Yeah, she's like...
Not just your mom, I mean generally speaking.
Well, I mean, a lot of people that know me, they try not to get on my nerves, so...
But are you angry?
Oh, I'm mad at her all the time because she's just rude to me, so that's one reason why I'm rude to her.
All right, well, there's a point at which you have to stop complaining and start asking. So let's be very specific. What could your mother do so you wouldn't have a problem with her anymore?
Talk to me without slapping me or pushing me around.
Okay, does she slap you? Where does she slap you?
My face.
Uh-huh. How often does she slap you in the face?
All the time.
Daily, weekly, monthly?
Daily.
Okay, slap my hand as hard as she slaps your face. Okay, do it again, as hard as she slaps your face. Is that true?
Yes, I have, not every day.
That's a yes or no. It's not an essay question.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so she could stop slapping you in the face.
And just sit down and talk to me. That's just one thing she doesn't do. She yells at me trying to talk to me. She's mean, like, puts me down and criticizes me.
Okay, is that true?
I don't call her bad names.
Do you call her fat ass?
No, I do not. I tell her I don't want her being a fat ass like me.
Okay. Well, that's not how she describes it.
Right.
She says you call her a fat ass, you tell her she needs to lose weight, that you will tell her blank you, blank this, blank that, when you're in a fight, and that you have said, you're not my daughter, I don't know you.
Savannah gets in my face and gets me so mad at her that, yes, I want to choke her sometimes because she just mouths me and keeps on telling me no.
Yeah, she says to you, I hate you, I wish you would die, I'd rather go to jail or foster home than live with you.
I do everything I can to make Savannah happy. There is nothing I can do to make her happy.
Okay, well, that's not true. You don't do everything you can to make her happy. You've said that you slap her in the face.
Yes, I have.
All right, what could she do that would make you happy? Where you could say, okay, look, we're going to start over. We're going to get a fresh start here.
Don't yell at me. Don't scream in my face. If I ask her to do something, do it. Don't argue with me. Don't tell me no. Don't make a scene out in public and tell me no. Quit lying to me. Start doing better in school, better at home. She's very mean to her brother. She beats him up on a daily basis.
Is that true?
No, like, we'll play around fighting, and she doesn't realize that. We'll play around fighting, but then he'll get mad at me, or I'll get mad at him.
Well, he kind of loses in that play around fighting, doesn't he?
Yeah, usually.
He is covered right now in bruises because she has...
Do you tell him that you hate him? Do you tell him that you wish he was never born?
Do I tell my brother that?
Yes. You tell him that you hate him and I wish you were never born right before you play fight him into bruises.
No, I don't tell him that before we play fight.
What did you tell him Sunday on Easter? Right in front of everybody, in front of 50 people.
Yeah, I told her that I hated him, but, you know, he goes around the house.
No, ma'am. You said, I hate you. You told me you hate me, my son, and you said, I hope both of you die. You said it in front of 50 people on Easter Day. Yes, you did.
I didn't say I hate
you. told him right for his face, I hope you die. I hope you're gone. It wouldn't matter to me. Exactly what you said to him.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. I have 50 people back at home to cover me on that one, honey. You were there. You said, I hope you and Savannah person are gone.
Yeah, I told them I hated them and that I wish they were gone. I didn't say, you make it sound like so bad. You know that?
It is bad, Savannah.
No, it's not, because he says he hates me and he wants me to die.
Do I tell you I wish you weren't born? I have never said to you ever You're my daughter. I don't care what you say to me.
I wish
you're my daughter.
had you because
There
of
is
all
sometimes
this
I wish I
crap.
haven't had you because you put me through so much hell.
Okay. Time out. Do you think you have ownership in this?
I'm not a perfect mom. Yes, there's plenty of things I can change
Okay,
to do.
do you think you have contributed to this problem?
Yes, I know I do.
Okay,
Just-
do you recognize that if this doesn't change, that you guys are headed for some real serious trouble?
Yes.
If you guys are going to solve this, you need to do it now. You need not do it next summer. You need not do it next fall. You need to do this now. So you two are going to have to learn to communicate without yelling and screaming. Your mom does some things right? She tries to do some things well for you. She's in fact kind of spoiled you sometimes by giving you what you want, true? And what you want is to build on that with something more. And it's totally clear to me that you're going to need a referee to do this, to learn, to break the pattern of yelling and learn to communicate so you can be friends as well as a mother-daughter. And you have to recognize you're part of the problem. You're not all of it. Seriously, you're not. You actually seem like a pretty good kid to me.
She is. She is.
But you've gotten some bad habits here, and you need to grow up a little bit about that. And you've gotten into some habits where you've stopped being the adult and gotten down at a kid level and yelling and screaming and calling names. Come on, you can't do that.
Right.
We got to get past that.
Right.
I'm going to get you a referee to stop this and give you some new patterns, and then we'll see how that turns out. Because you can do this, and you know what? It can turn around like that.
Right.
And you'd rather be peaceful than like this, right? Don't be slapping your kids.
Right.
Don't be slapping. That's not good.
I know.
All right, I'm going to get you a resource to help with this. We're going to replace that with some reasonable communication. And you're going to get to really have a voice and say what you think. You're going to love this. Trust me. All right, next, a husband's wish for his overscheduled wife. He pulled off a little surprise for this mom of three. That's up next. Well, today we're asking the question, does mom always know best? Now, I've said the toughest job on the face of the planet is being a mom. But moms have to take care of themselves, too. We have to honor moms that do so much. So happy Mother's Day to my wife, Robin. Happy Mother's Day coming up.
Thank you.
She has done a phenomenal job raising our sons, Jay and Jordan. Another husband who wants in on the I'm married to the most amazing mom club is Doug. He wrote to me about his wife, who does a lot. She's raising 3 kids, works part-time, volunteers. She basically never stops giving to others.
Dana's a great mother. You can just tell by the way she takes care of the kids. She also watches other kids and also cares for her grandmother, who has Alzheimer's. Dana is willing to help others out in times of need. In 2008, we had a hurricane hit, and it destroyed her mom and stepdad's house. Dana allowed them to move into our house. And we had a total of 8 people living with us. She's allowed my mother to move in, my brother to move in, and you know, when they've had tough times, and she's always welcomed them with open arms. You can tell that there's a lot going on, but you can't really see it in her face. She doesn't allow it to show. I love her to death. I couldn't ask for anyone better.
I got you.
Well, they're here because her husband decided to surprise his deserving wife at work.
I'm going to her work to surprise her, to fly her out to LA to be on the Dr. Phil show.
This is very important for me and the family to show her how much we appreciate her.
What are you doing?
We're going to the Dr. Phil show. For being such an amazing, wonderful mother.
All of a sudden I see my husband and my children, and I was very excited.
You did that?
Everything that I do is not taken for granted and not forgotten. It makes me feel very appreciated.
We're flying out Monday to Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh, I'm in shock. I don't even know what to say.
Okay, now, he's not very good at keeping surprises, right?
No.
But he kept this one?
Yes, I have never received a wrapped present from this man. He'll buy it a couple days or a week before, and then he has to give it to me right away.
You don't even wrap it? It doesn't even get wrapped?
It's too hard. I'm so excited. I'm just ready to give it to her.
It's burning a hole in your pocket, though, so you have to give it to her.
Exactly.
So how did you decide to surprise her by bringing her here?
Well, I was going through your website, and I saw it, and she's a big Dr. Phil fan. So I said, well, what better way than to try to get on here? So
obviously a woman of great taste and discernment.
Exactly. So I filled it out and worked everything out to where we could do it, and it's been a great trip.
Now, you're pretty busy, right?
I am.
He gave me a list. He says you take care of 3-year-old twins and a 2-year-old son. You're a part-time x-ray tech at Texas Children's Hospital. You take online college courses for your BA. You substitute teach at the kids' church school. You take care of the home. You're a full-time caretaker for your Alzheimer grandmother.
Yes.
Do you ever run out of energy?
No, it's something unexplainable. I always have the energy because I know that I have to do it. I wake up in the morning, and as hard as I know the day is going to be, I just know that I have to do it, and I have to take care of everyone.
Well, you got hit by Hurricane Ike.
We did.
And you had no electricity.
Correct.
But you took in a family that was displaced. 5 adults, 3 kids, 3 dogs for weeks.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, do you ever say no?
No.
But you understand you got to take care of yourself, right?
Yes.
I mean, what do you do for you?
That's the problem I have, is that we don't really have time to do anything since we've been married. We got married 5 years ago. We had the twins right after that. Then we had the baby, and then everything kept going. And, it's hard for me to take care of them, my grandma, him, and feel like I have enough time for myself. I feel like I need to take care of them first, and then me.
But you get that you'll burn out. And, look at this beautiful family here. Now, notice those kids are all pretty young. That means you've got a lot of years ahead of you. And if you care about those kids, and I know you do, you have to take care of their mother. You can't just keep saying, well, next year, the year after, the year after. You've got to do some things along the way to take care. You got to set aside some time for exercise or just downtime. Things that you would consider selfish, where you could be doing something for somebody else, but you are doing something for those little ones if you're taking care of their mother. Because you don't want to come up emotionally bankrupt, physically bankrupt. You got to take care of yourself along the way to take care of them. True?
True.
I mean, does that make any sense?
It does.
And is it going to have any influence on what you do?
If I have enough time in the day.
But here's the thing. It is not selfish. They need a mother, not a martyr. And if you were to burn yourself out taking care of others so you weren't there when they hit their teens or when they're ready to get married or when they have babies, you got to take care of you along the way. So, I mean, really, don't think of it as selfish. It's just taking care of the unit that takes care of them. You put your car in the shop, don't you?
Yes.
You got to take care of yourself. Put yourself in the shop. Okay, I'm going to try to get her started in the right way. So we want to treat Dana to some well-deserved relaxation. So we are whisking her and her husband, Doug, off to the La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad, California, right after the show. She's going to be spoiled for a little Mother's Day before returning home to her hectic life. It's been 3 years since they've gone away together. So you're going to go to a wonderful, wonderful place. You're going to love this. Can you do that for me?
I can do that.
You can do that for me. All right. Well, I've got some good news for mothers who are sick and tired of being blamed for their children's problems. Plus, don't be fooled by some of the myths you've heard over the years about mental illness. I'm going to get to that truth next. Congratulations. As someone that's spent his life in the mental health profession, I know that there's just not enough public awareness of the facts surrounding mental illness for people to be comfortable with the subject. Now, when discussing mental health matters, it's important to recognize fact versus fiction. There are a lot of myths out there, and I want to go over some of them with you. Myth number one, mothers or primary caregivers are the first causes of mental illness. The reality is that is simply not true. Mothers need to get rid of the guilt, and people need to stop blaming their mothers and start taking responsibility for themselves and their actions. A recent survey reported by the National Mental Health Association revealed that most people still hold outdated, incorrect beliefs about mental illness. 71% believe mental illness is caused by emotional weakness. Not true. 65% believe mental illness is caused by bad parenting. Not true. Myth number 2, people with mental illness are unable to function, are less intelligent, and can't hold a job. The reality is people with a mental illness can absolutely succeed. They can go to law school, they can have a career. Some of America's greatest writers, scientists, musicians, and politicians suffered from mental illness even as they were making extraordinary contributions to our history and culture. Every day, people manage mental dysfunction. If we treat mental illness like a disability, it just keeps people sick and demoralizes them further. Myth number 3, people who are mentally ill are dangerous or violent. That's just not true. The reality is that although there are extreme cases where sufferers have reported being guided by voices to hurt themselves or other, the vast majority are not violent at all. In fact, those suffering from mental illness are 2.5 times more likely to be the victim of a crime rather than the perpetrator. Go to drphil.com for more information on this. We'll be right back. Well, I want to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day. So, hey, Grandma. Everybody's laughing because Robin just told me to do that. But I mean it, Grandma. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Because it's been said, mothers hold their children's hands for a short while, but they hold their hearts forever. Don't forget your moms. And to make sending flowers a little easier, this year, FTD is sending everyone in the audience home with a $50 gift certificate for FTD flowers. And for those of you at home, you can go to drphil.com and there will be a button there to click and you will get 20% off of any flowers you send to your mother. So we're trying to take care of all the mothers. You now have no excuse thanks to FTD flowers. And also special thanks to La Costa Spa and Resort for you guys going down there and having a good time. Look, we have a great time here in the studio audience. True? We have a good time here? So, if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area, we would love to have you come. The tickets are free. Go to drphil.com, click on Be in the Audience. And as we say goodbye, we wish all moms a happy Mother's Day. And you'll see some of our viewers sending their wishes too. Thanks to all my guests today. So long.
I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Your grandchildren adore you, and I adore you.
You are always there when we are hurt or sick, and you are always caring for us.
What I love about you is that you always come to our school assemblies. You rock! You rock! You rock! Happy Mother's Day. And what I love about my mommy is that she plays with me a lot. My favorite thing I like to do with Mom is snuggle with her. She makes breakfast, sausages, and eggs and toast. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.